Zeo Quest 2 and 3, landing in the forest of Africa, Aisha seeks her twofold crystal. As her intuition guides her to a forest, she ends up in a village that is attacked by lions. Aisha rescues a wild animal rescue volunteer called Tanya. She is a wanderer not sure what she can do in her life. She was suggested to do volunteer work to find herself. Turns out the lions are trying to defend their territory and are actually getting sick. The villagers are actually veterinarians who moved there to try to cure the aggressive lions. Aisha begs for Tanya to aid her in finishing her Zeo quest. Tanya originally hesitates but agrees. As they continue through the forest, they get lost, but the two each encounter a bunch of moving, living alien mud creatures. There were two sections of the mud people. One is the Sphinx-sect, and the other is the Mastadon-sect. Tanya finds Rocky, who was teleported to the Sphinx-sect people a few weeks earlier than Aisha. He has been helping their village to hide and fend off lions ever since the alien mud people were randomly teleported to Earth. Later, Tanya and Rocky meet up with Aisha. The three share what they have learned from these animated mud golems. The Mastadon-sect has been hunted to near extinction by the Sphinx-sect, but the Mastadon-sect were the ones who started a civil war amongst their people. The three realize both sides of the conflict caused a bitter war that lasted for over a few millennia. The two sects are prejudiced against each other, seeing themselves as the superior race. Tanya and Aisha decide to have the two groups meet and settle their differences. The two mud alien sects were arguing over who started the war. Although Aisha could feel the Thunderlion spirit essence powers diminishing, Aisha created the projection of the Mastodon dinosaur, how it helped to save the Earth. She then showed the destruction of the dinosaurs by Lord Zed and how the lion spirit was willing to help, creating the Mastodon Lion Thunderzord. Through the two helping each other, they produced the Green Lion Ranger that helped fighting evil. The two sects were mesmerized by this. Through Rocky, Tanya, and Aisha's mediation, the two finally see past their differences and learn to forgive each other. Seeing if they work together, they could become so much more. The alien race wished their ancestors could have seen past this much earlier. All those lost times fighting against each other. Rocky, knowing it's his turn, sacrifices all his time reversal powers for them. Using the last of his ninpu, he turns back time and allows the mud people to speak to their ancestors, hoping to alter time. With the descendants of the mud people convincing their ancestors, the two sides decided to unite and settle the conflict before their great war. The mud aliens thanked the three and gave them a small, crafted gift of appreciation. Rocky received a wooden Sphinx badge, Aisha was rewarded with a Mastodon necklace, and Tanya received a figurine resembling the mud people. With history altered, the two alien groups disappeared and two crystals were replaced in their place. Somehow, the two Zeo crystals accidentally teleported the two groups over to Earth. These are of Triforian origins from a long time ago. Tanya later realized this was in Triforian historical text. On two mediators of a foreign planet aided them in uniting the two sects through a vision. The Zeo crystals in teleporting Aisha and Rocky had teleported the two races when they had the crystal shard 10,000s of years ago, bringing them together. As Aisha, Rocky, and Tanya return to the village, she realizes the lions are affected by the arrival of the mud people who might be carrying Triforian spores which made them sick and aggressive. Thus, blaming herself, being an animal lover and familiar with this kind of spores as it's similar to ones found on Aquitar, Aisha decides to stay behind and help the lions despite Rocky's protests. This is Aisha's growth. As she had neglected her studies over her ranger duties, now she sees her studies being able to help the world. Aisha could feel the lion thunder spirit calling out to her and saving the endangered animals as his last request echoed from the spirit realm. Aisha reveals herself to be a Power Ranger and asks Tanya to take her place. Tanya, seeing this as an honor and a chance to save the world against aliens, agrees and Zordon approves of this. Rocky and Tanya were teleported to Angel Grove by the two crystal shards. In this season, Tanya started off being prideful, believing her intelligence rivaling Billy's at first, but due to the lack of experience as a ranger, she loses her focus and learns to accept Billy's guidance and the rest of the team's help. She learns from Billy that his intelligence is not just in academia, but his wisdom is far beyond her expectation, and she learns to humble down and appreciates Billy. As the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger was second in command in Season 2 after the original core 3 Rangers had left, Rocky now takes up the mantle of being the Blue Ranger. Rocky feels the pressure of being the next Blue Ranger, feeling insecure, and is in the need to constantly prove himself. Rocky now puts a lot of pressure on himself, unlike before, trying to be overly responsible yet not meeting his own standards. Rocky needs to learn to overcome this chip on his shoulder for not being able to live up to Billy's intellect, but he has his own strength. Through socializing and networking, he has built up strong yet unsuspecting channels to monitor the Machine Empire's movements around Angel Grove.